After sustaining significant losses, is Israel now acknowledging that its objectives in the Iran conflict remain unfulfilled? Did Israel's outgoing intelligence chief unintentionally place Prime Minister Netanyahu in a difficult position with his remarks on Holocaust Remembrance Day? Is there emerging discord between Mossad and the Israeli government, as the Iran war begins to expose internal differences? As Netanyahu moves to appoint a new Mossad chief, has David Barnea revealed more than intended about Israel's strategic posture? With the admission that the mission is still incomplete, has Barnea's statement created added pressure on the Israeli leadership? And has Netanyahu's choice of successor raised further questions about decision-making following setbacks in the Iran conflict? Amid a fragile ceasefire between the United States and Iran, Israel's intelligence leadership has made a significant statement regarding its strategic objectives. Outgoing Mossad chief David Barnea indicated that Israel's objectives in its confrontation with Iran have not yet been fully achieved. He further stated that Israel intends to continue its efforts until a fundamental political change takes place within Iran. Barnea made these remarks during Holocaust Remembrance Day events held in Israel on April 14. The Mossad chief said, and I quote, "We didn't think that this mission would be completed immediately with the end of the battles. We brought precise intelligence to the Air Force, and we hit missiles that threatened Israel. But our mission has yet to be completed. We didn't think that this mission would be completed immediately with the end of the battles. But we planned intensively for our campaign to continue and achieve results even in the period after the strikes in Tehran. Mossad's responsibility will end only when this radical regime is replaced. Regime change in Iran is our mission. We will not stand by, watching, in the face of another existential threat." End quote. The Mossad chief's comments were made even as the United States continues efforts to pursue a diplomatic resolution with Iran. Reports suggest that Barnea conveyed to officials that political change in Iran remains a possible outcome following the conflict. The Jerusalem Post also reported that Mossad has denied claims that it actively lobbied Washington for regime change. However, the conflict, which has lasted over a month, has not resulted in any such transformation within Iran. Subsequently, there have been indications that Israeli and US officials are assessing responsibility for unmet objectives. Amid these developments, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has moved to appoint a new head of Mossad following recent setbacks. He has named his current military secretary, Major General Roman Goffman, as the next director of the Israeli spy agency, according to reports. The appointment comes after Goffman was cleared by a vetting committee headed by former Supreme Court Chief Justice Asher Grunis. Once in office, Goffman will take charge of one of the world's most secretive and influential intelligence services. He is set to succeed current Mossad chief David Barnea when Barnea's 5-year term ends in June 2026. According to the Jerusalem Post, Goffman's appointment is scheduled to formally take effect on June 2nd. The decision follows months of delays, which were linked to earlier controversies surrounding Goffman's record. Goffman was wounded during the Gaza war, making him the highest-ranking officer injured in those operations. However, critics have raised concerns over his relatively limited background in intelligence work and his lack of prior experience inside the Mossad. After failed peace talks, Iran has warned the United States that Americans may soon miss today's relatively cheap gasoline. Iran's parliament speaker, Mohammad Bakr Kalibaf, made the warning on April 12, according to Press TV. Kalibaf suggested that US consumers could soon grow nostalgic for current fuel prices as tensions keep rising. His comments came shortly after President Donald Trump ordered the US Navy to impose a naval blockade on Iran. The move is aimed at the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical sea lanes for international oil shipments. At the same time, Netanyahu has issued statements that could influence the trajectory of tensions between Iran and the United States. On April 13, the Israeli Prime Minister expressed support for the US naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. He also reiterated that Iran should cease uranium enrichment activities in line with US expectations. Good morning. Yesterday I was somewhere in Lebanon, in the security zone, with our forces, with our wonderful reservists, with our courageous commanders. They are doing an amazing job there, in the spirit of our forefathers, with great determination and with major successes that, of course, must be recognized. The first thing is that they are pushing the enemy away from the border, and we are not talking about 5 points, we are now talking about a solid security belt, deeper, which both prevents the danger of an invasion and pushes back the threat of anti-tank missiles. They are also dealing with the terror villages that were adjacent to our border, where every terror position and many of them are simply being destroyed. You have to see it. It is a huge change, and you also have to see their spirit. We still have a threat from Hamas, and that too is being dealt with. There are important new things there and more work to be done. I was very impressed by the willingness, by the understanding that we must restore security to the north and ensure that the residents of the north, who deserve the same level of security as every citizen of Israel, will receive it, and we will not rest until we restore their security. Of course, the fighting continues. It has not stopped. It is ongoing all the time. Yesterday it intensified, and today as well, in the north. That is regarding Lebanon. Yesterday I spoke with Vice President J.D. Vance. He called me from his plane on the way back from Islamabad. He reported to me in detail, as members of this administration do every day, on the development of the negotiations. In this case, the explosion of the negotiations. The breakdown came from the American side, which was not prepared to tolerate Iran's blatant violation of the agreement to enter negotiations. Essentially, the understanding was that there would be a ceasefire and Iran would immediately open the straits. They did not do this. The Americans were not prepared to accept that. He also made it clear to me that the central issue on the agenda, from the perspective of President Trump and the United States, is the removal of all enriched material and ensuring that there is no more enrichment, and that going forward, in the coming years, and this could be for decades, there will be no enrichment inside Iran. This is their focus, and of course it is something that is important to us. And since Iran violated the rules, President Trump decided to impose a blockade on them. That is not a Hebrew word, a naval siege. We, of course, support this firm position, and we are coordinated with the United States all the time. The talk as if there is a disconnect between us is the opposite of the truth. Everyone who was around this conversation and around the daily conversations we hold with the president, or that our people hold with his staff, can testify to this. This is coordination that has not existed before. There is something here that has never been. It has not existed in the history of the state, and it has not existed in the history of the Jewish people. We have coordination with the most powerful superpower in the world, and we have a superior capability against existential threats. Yesterday, I met with Holocaust survivors, those who will light the torches today. I was moved to hear their stories. It is sublime heroism and survival beyond all odds. I needed to hear this today. But I told them that there is one huge difference. During the Holocaust we were, as the poet Louis V. Greenberg said, like a hunted animal. We could not do anything. They hunted us, they slaughtered us, and only a few survived. Today, the situation has been reversed. We are the ones who hunt our persecutors. Those who came to destroy us are now fighting for their own survival. The power of the State of Israel, only 80 years after the Holocaust, is visible to the entire world. Even if the world has forgotten the lessons of the Holocaust, we have not forgotten. We know that one must stand up to evil in time and with force. We are doing this in a way that, apart from the United States, no other country in the world is doing. The State of Israel is at the peak of its strength. The most important thing, on the eve of Holocaust Remembrance Day, is to say the following: if we had not acted, if we had not taken our fate into our own hands in an independent State of Israel, with the Israel Defense Forces and our security services, then Isfahan, Natanz, Fordau and Bushehr would be remembered like Auschwitz, Majdanek and Sobibor. That is exactly the whole difference. They come to destroy us, and we rise against them. In every generation they rise up. In this generation we have risen against them. This is an enormous change that every citizen of Israel should bless. It ensures the main thing: never again. Every year I stand at Yad Vashem and I say, there will not be another Holocaust. Today these words are backed by the mighty actions of the Israel Defense Forces, by the steadfast stand of Israel citizens and by the very strong determination of the government of Israel. Thank you.